heading to a regional game to play Chenango Forks. And today I get a chance to not only talk to him, but I get to talk to one of his players. I get to talk to senior Maggie Trinkaus, coming off a fresh Class B state championship game over the weekend. I have the opportunity to talk with them both tonight about the season. So without further ado, let's bring them both on now. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing great. Yeah, pretty excited.
Awesome. Well, Coach, I was saying the last time you and I were talking, I always say that's what good podcasting is. I had you right on the bus en route to the game, which I thought was awesome. And at that time, you guys were heading to play Chenango Forks. And here we are now talking to you both after winning a state championship. So congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
So, Maggie, I want to start with you first. So tell us about how special this year's been going on this state championship run. And I guess it's two-part. I asked Coach this the last time him and I talked. Did you girls know going into this season that was going to be a special year for you or had the potential to be special?
Definitely with the tough schedule we played, especially early on in the season, going up to Indian River and General Brown, playing them early, and then having two tough battles against Bishop Ludden has definitely helped prepare us for this moment. But beginning of the season, I was a little nervous, especially losing to the quarterfinals last season and losing two star players. But definitely that's helped us.
And Coach, I know we talked when you guys were heading to play Chenango Forks, and your guys' losses that you had during the year were non-league games for you. How much did that non-league schedule help for you guys heading into this run that you guys had?
There's no doubt about it. It was crucial to our preparation and the team that we became. I exchanged a lot of messages with different people, obviously, over the last few days. But one of those coaches who I've been talking to a lot is the Bishop Ludden coach, who is a wonderful person, has a great team, and just really almost thanked her because I think the two games we played them set us up for some great success that led to a state title.
Maggie, did you feel, being the senior, you have your sisters on the team too, which I'll get to, but did you at any time, you girls, feel any pressure throughout the season when things are going really good and then you get into the sectionals, which you guys had a tough sectional final game, but then you go into these state playoffs. Did you feel any extra pressure?
No, not really. We all had belief in ourselves and we all stayed calmed. We had some nervous moments during some of these tough games, especially against Marcellus and Putnam Valley and Albany Academy, where we had a couple rough minutes. But we kind of calmed ourselves down in those minutes, and we just played for ourselves and played for each other.
And what was it like? Obviously a lot of the people around town talk about the Trinkaus sisters. How special is that, and how cool is that to have your sisters?
We definitely have a great bond at home on the court. So sharing these memories with them is definitely going to be one of our best in our lives.
And Coach, I know we talked before too about not just Maggie and her sisters, but you had some other girls this year that really stepped up in some key moments for you. Can you talk about some of the other girls that stepped up this year for you?
Yeah, well, the one who's pretty emotional for me at this moment, probably start crying here on this video with you too, is Imani Jadwick, one of our seniors. State semifinal game. We're up by 4 points. She's a hustler. She unfortunately missed a free throw. I teased her. I wish she made the free throw, but she chased down that missed free throw and saved it off of Putnam Valley. Crucial moments. We got the ball back and ended up scoring, but she tore her ACL on that play. And, again, we might not have been in the state championship game without that play. It really changed the momentum. We want to run. We kind of did it for her. No doubt we talked about that. And, so she's a special one. And then, Vita Waters, someone who adjusted for us, to do what we needed her to do. Not a pure point guard by any stretch, but handled the ball for most of the season for us because we needed her to. And she accepted that. And, she would be a star on any team. She's a star for us, too. We won a state championship and she's a starter. But, someone who flies under the radar. And, Lauren Culpa, our other senior, who, again, as I mentioned the last time, just inspired us with her work ethic because she tore her ACL, not that long ago, had surgery, I think in September of last year. And, to get back and give us some minutes, played some big minutes in the Putnam Valley game for sure because we had a little bit of foul trouble. Ella had 3 fouls in the first half, and Lauren came in and gave us some good minutes. So, wonderful kids. Everybody on the team, it's a team effort. We did it for each other, as Maggie said, and they all deserve credit.
Maggie, I know when I played sports, I was a 3-sport athlete in high school and then played football in college. And a lot of people always ask me what were some of my best memories. And, I won a lot of sectional championships in football and played in the state championship for RFA. But I always go back about the relationships and the memories that I had with my teammates. And to this day, we still tell a lot of the same stories when we get together and chat about high school. What are some of the memories that you'll remember the most about this team and some of the girls on your team?
Definitely the hotel rooms, when we stayed in the hotel rooms, when we stayed overnight up in Watertown. And then on Thursday, right before the state semifinal game, definitely those stay-over tournaments and just all the bus rides and all the laughs and memories at practices. Those are so much fun.
So, Maggie, I got to ask you the question. Out of you and your sisters, who was coached the hardest on?
Me. It's always me.
It's always the oldest one, isn't it?
Me. He's always picking on me at practice and during film, especially film.
So, Maggie, how about in the household, though? I know, being the older sister, what were some of the conversations like for you and your sisters? Do you guys have those conversations, at home? I know when I used to play for my dad, I'd come home and once I left practice, we left it on the field. But sometimes when we came home, we might have had some of those sidebar conversations. Did any of that trickle home for you guys?
Well, we definitely have our conversations on the court of what each other needs to do better. But then when we're at home, we're more of just criticizing each other a little more and telling each other different moves that we should try or how to play certain girls when we're guarding them on defense, or even things that we can do like off the ball cuts and just try to get open and just trying to help each other play their game.
Who's the most competitive of the sisters?
Probably Ella. It's definitely Ella, yeah. We tease a lot, and we're very competitive with each other during games.
So, Coach, I want to talk about the state title run for you guys because I was doing some digging here. And Chenango Forks, you guys had that big third quarter where you outscored them 25-8. Putnam Valley, you guys scored 34 points in the second half. And then the Albany Academy game, you guys trailed by double digits at halftime and put together a big second half. What changed for you guys coming out in the second half of all these games? It looked like you guys were a completely different team. Now, maybe you cut a really good locker room halftime speech, and maybe you're banging down the doors and all that. But what changed for you guys in the second half of these games?
I said this a lot of times in a lot of different interviews recently. Not a lot changes. I mean, we don't do anything crazy. I do try to fire them up a little bit, and I think hopefully that works. But we really believe in what we do, and we have confidence in what we do. And when it's not going well, we kind of feel we have some smart girls on the team, and we even talk about probabilities on our side when some shots aren't falling. We say it's just the math. We talk about that sometimes. It's just the math. We're due, and it's going to come around for us. And they're just a wonderful, confident bunch that believes in each other and will fight to the end. And never stop hustling. We talk about energy and attitude. I think I mentioned that maybe when I talked to you before, but we try to control the things that we can control. Shots don't always go in, but if we keep playing with that heart and hustle, good things are going to happen. And, it's worked out for us. Thank God we made some shots at the right times and we're able to pull through.
Maggie, some players and teams panic when they get behind. I've coached some teams that were really tight when they got behind, and there were some other teams I coached that were, never panicked, as Coach is talking about. But from a player's perspective, when you guys trail or the game's tight, is there any panic amongst you girls saying, this is tight? I don't know. This is a lot closer than I thought it was going to be?
No, not one bit. Not during our sectional final when we were down, or even during Albany Academy. We did not get nervous at all. We all just stayed calm, and we all just trusted each other that we were going to make that shot or we were going to make that assist or get that rebound. We all just trusted each other's hustle and confidence, and it worked out for us.
So I felt like I wasn't able to go to your guys' state championship game, but I was on the internet following. People were tweeting, Facebook, and I kept checking it like every 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh, man, they're down 10 at halftime. And then all of a sudden I looked up. I'm like, they're up now with not much time left to go. I think, Coach, you guys had your first lead with just under 4 minutes to go in that game. So coming out again, I want to go back to the second half, but you're down 10. What changed to try to get this thing back going in the right direction?
It really, I mean, in the third quarter, we made a couple shots. We had a run. We got it to 3 in the third quarter, but then they're a great team. I mean, they answered and made a couple threes and got it back to 9 going into the fourth. So they may have been really confident. I talked to the girls about that. They said they were never a doubt in their minds. I had some doubts, because we made a little run and, we didn't put a real dent into the lead. But we did make a pretty major change, like something we've never done all season long. I just saw something in the third quarter. Ella was working pretty well inside, and so we decided to just kind of go 4 out around her and try and feed her inside. She had a decent matchup, and we figured if they collapsed, we'd be able to make some shots. And, Maggie hit a big 3 for us. Her sister Erin hit a 3. Emma Johnson hit a 3, and young Lily Johnson, an 8th grader who got some minutes, had a 3-point play on a traditional 3-point play, made a layup and got fouled. So things worked out when we went that way. We put a little pressure on them. We went a little 2-2-1 pressure and got some tips that kind of changed the game for us in the fourth quarter.
Maggie, what's the community been like? I know you guys had a ton of support. I'm going to say across the entire Mohawk Valley, but as a player, what's that community support been for you?
It definitely helps a lot, especially during that game, hearing all of the chants and everyone clapping for us and just cheering us on felt like it kind of eased the pressure on us a little bit, because we knew going into that game that Albany Academy was going to be a really tough game and we were going to have to give it everything we had. And having that community support kind of just helped us.
So Maggie, if you had a chance you had to sit back, I know sometimes it doesn't hit you, to sit back and say your senior year, you go out, you win a state championship. I know you'll miss the memories, but what are some things you'll miss the most?
Definitely those memories, definitely playing with my teammates, playing with my sisters, because I've been playing with them ever since I was in kindergarten. So everything we worked up to has definitely been something special and will always stay with me.
And Coach, this was your third year as the head coach?
Yes, that's correct.
Do you have any assistant coaching positions on that staff, man? You got a lot of these girls back next year. I got to get on that staff.
Yeah, we're not upset about the fact that Ella and Erin are sophomores and Emma Johnson's a sophomore who got the start in the state championship game, replacing Amani Jedwick. And her little sister Lily is an 8th grader. Tessa Arcuri is another sophomore who played a lot of minutes for us this year. We have some other good young kids coming up from JV, so it's going to be a challenge. Losing major pieces, that will be a different team, but certainly looking forward to that challenge and seeing what we can do.
Maggie, I know everybody's been talking about Emily Durr. I coached her. She's been a local guest on my shows for years. I've talked with her, and she's one of my favorite people to talk sports with. I know you guys are cousins. It was well documented that it was 10 years apart. You guys had the same records as the team that she won the state championship with. What's the interaction like? What has she been? Has she talked to you? I'm sure she has. And what has she said to you guys?
Yeah, especially during our sectional run and during our state run, we've been talking on the phone a lot, just how things we can get better at. She's been talking to my mom about ways that we should play, driving to the hoop and just being strong underneath. So yeah, and I called her right after the game. She said she was super proud of us, and that she can't brag anymore about her state championship win when she sees us, because now we have one.
Yeah, and I feel like everywhere I turn, guys, I'm opening up social media. I see, Coach, your guys' pictures all over the place. You guys got to be like celebrities walking around town now, right?
Yeah, it's been wild. It's amazing. Everywhere you turn, it seems like somebody wants to talk to you or do an interview, or it's crazy and it's exciting and just a great experience.
Well, you're the coach. You've been good to me coming on here and letting me be able to talk about the season you guys have had, and hopefully I get a chance to meet you in person. Maggie, it's been fun following your career. I have followed you guys, not just because you guys won a state championship, but I followed your career, and you've had a great career. You've been a good role model too for the community, for the younger girls, and I can't thank you both enough. And Coach, maybe one of these weekends, if you're not busy, you're welcome to come on the radio and talk sports with me for 2 hours.
Yeah, sounds good.
if you get some
I'm a
time.
junkie. I'm a sports junkie, so I wouldn't turn that down. So, yeah.
Well, listen, I appreciate it. You guys made the community proud. We're all proud of you. And Maggie, best of luck to you next year and whatever the future holds for you. And Coach, we'll do it again soon.
Thank you very much.